Hello my great people, karibuni to another episode of Commerce Chronicles. Kama kawaida hapa ni pale tunakupatia tips na secrets za biashara. And as usual guys, I have my amazing guest for you. But before you get to meet him, this show is proudly sponsored by Dunamis Raw Group of Companies. If you are a landlord na unashangaa ni aje deal with your properties, don't worry, Dunamis Raw Group of Companies got you. They deal with property management. Na pia kama unatafuta nyumba, you want to move in, they will sort you out. Na pia kama uko na biashara but you're wondering where to put your business, they'll also sort you up. Their numbers are right here kwa screen, just reach them na utasaidika. So hapa niko na mgeni wetu, nitampatia chance ajiintroduce, atuambie yeye ni nani na anafanya kazi gani.
So I'm Maxwell Igambamburu. I'm a software developer and I'm also a software developer at Silver Valley Technologies. It's a Kenyan-based company. We deal with digital marketing, software development. Yeah.
Wow, thank you very much. So can you please tell us what is software development?
Software development, it has different definitions, but I think it's just a way that you can actually communicate with the computer. And in a computer, this means that it's maybe a phone or a general PC that we know it, a laptop. So how can you communicate with that computer? Because as we understand is that we the way we speak, it's actually not the same way as actually the way computer operates. So this term about storing bytes, so zeros and ones, actually that is how a computer actually functions, just like switching on and off a switch. Yeah. So basically software development is actually now creating that method, or coming up with a way that you can actually feed commands in a computer in a way that you can understand, at the same time it can also understand. So at a bottom level, there's something called a compiler that now interprets the normal code that you write on a computer into zeros and ones.
Oh, thank you very much. I've heard about you saying it's a way you communicate with the computers or the gadgets. Is it where you use languages and codes?
Okay, so this is a deep one, but I think I can kind of like simplify it. So when you enter into a dark room, so this maybe like this a switch. Let's kind of simplify it so that someone that can actually understand it. So before this story in a computer, it was so much common. The first actually computer was so big because it had a lot of not okay the size of the components that actually were used to create it. They were actually so big, but with time they have actually reduced. Basically what a computer does is actually just a normal, there's something called a transistor. So like the way you can you can switch something on and off, but in a very fast way that you can actually connect those switches, a lot of them, actually like thousands of them, in a way that you can optimize it to actually function in a certain way. Yeah. So like a basic understanding of it is actually just a switch, like a normal on and off. That's why if you have a 0 and you have a 1, those are two things. So 1 is an on and 0 is an off. So it means that you're actually trying to communicate with that computer, like do this like ones and zeros, but in your own way. So like for example, what programmers actually do, they actually write code in English, right? So when they write code in English, that code is being compiled into a machine understanding way. So it will be converted to the way the machine will now operate with that instructions. Yeah.
Wow, thank you very much. It sounds like it's a deep thing. Is it something that you have to like think deep?
No. It's actually a simple thing. It's not. It's actually not deep. Just like any other language. So like you, but okay, it's English, but okay, you can write it English, Chinese, any, as long as there's a compiler. So, but I think it's something that you can actually learn. It's not that hard. It's actually so simple because you don't need to write like zeros and ones. because if you have zeros and ones, like for in a whole paragraph, like zeros, it's so difficult because you can actually get can be mixed up in that meaning. But if you're writing an English word, like for example, hello world, maybe a command to actually output that. Like for example, you can say print this, maybe alert this. You see, it's just a normal meaning, a normal way of actually just communicating. Yeah.
Thank you. And you've been doing this for a while, but can you tell us how did it start and when did it start?
So it's I've been doing it like for quite some time. It's okay. It started when we first got our first computer at home. So I think I was in class. I think I was in class six. Entering on class six. So we got our first computer at home. My dad brought us a computer. Ile computer yenye iko na nini nyuma, so ilikuwa na inaitwa tumbo. So it was that car need that, but it was something it was new. So if you can compare the ones that are currently, it's actually outdated, but something that actually made us actually came into to understanding about a computer, blah blah blah, interacting with it, because kama venye tukiwa dogo ni ati ukiguza TV maybe waribu utafanywa nini, but computer ilikuwa hapo, so you can play with it. Actually the first thing utafanya ni kuplay game. You learn how to play games, you learn how to do fun stuff as a kid. But now when that came into me, I was like, I really need to understand how this thing works. Like how can I create a game that I'm actually playing every day? How can I maybe kama hii computer imeharibika, how can I maybe fix it? Because sometimes ilikuwa ina break, mnaibeba mnaikala kwa bodaboda mnapeleka kwa fundi, inatengenezwa inarudishwa. So now like you end up starting like asking a question, how can I avoid this story, na maybe wanapeleka hivyo. So mara ya kwanza utafanya uharibu kabisa irudishwe tena ya pili ya tatu until you start, so that interest actually grows and grows, so you become more curious the more you interact with it. So now when I finished like high school, so ikakuwa like tunangoja results. So when it came, I took a course that is so much related to it. So I cannot lie that and say when I was a kid, nilikuwa nataka kuwa pilot. Actually, did not want. So I was mainly focused in what I used to do like as a kid. So I just wanted to do things about computers. Yeah.
So it's something that grew in you ukiwa mdogo.
Yeah.
And is there anyone in your family that has done it before? Ama, where did you get that inspiration?
I think my brothers and my sister, I think I'm the only one that is so much into computers. Apart from my young brother is actually so much into electronics na hizo, anaharibu vitu sana nyumbani. So but I think like it's something that actually you end up inspiring other people. So maybe my young brother ataona nataka kufanya venye yule anafanya. So it's something that it's just in me. Yeah.
And when ulianza ukiwa class 7, you started all that. And sahi I can see like already ushakuwa mkubwa. What really inspired you to keep on going with it? Usichange into another maybe career? Ama, what really makes you happy about software development?
I think I am more afraid to actually do something that I don't understand. So, and if something that I really want to understand, I will actually not be afraid to do it, right? So like if I like something, even if I don't understand it, I'll do it. But if I kind of have an issue about something, I'll actually not enter to that. So I think it for me it's all about like interest, and then from the interest, like how can you tackle challenges that come along. So it means that you'll actually end up being in that thing. You're actually not noticing even if time goes. So it's something that you actually just do it because you actually love it. And that's why like they say that if you love doing something, you'll actually not notice that you're actually working. Yeah.
Yeah, true. Very true. If you love something, actually, utakuwa unaifanya like it's out of you. Like you're doing it for your own happiness. Now, I've heard you talking about a course you did. So what are these academic requirements, some training requirements that you will need to go through, maybe for someone watching and would like to be a software developer, what are these training academic requirements?
So I think the first, actually the basic thing that you should actually have, even though we have this story na CBC imekaa na hizi stuff zingine zote, I think it's all about having technical skills, not skills but technical ambitions, in a way that if you see something you actually want to solve it. If it's a problem you actually want to solve it. That's actually the basis of any engineering. Actually, kama mtu anachora nyumba, anafanya anything, is actually the basis of that. If you see a problem, you just there, you want to solve it. You see, so that is the basic one. Then with having that one, it now comes up like there's some stuff that you're actually supposed to learn. So now those one now becomes like now qualifications. Like for example, maybe you're supposed to learn some few months. Maybe your high school, you're supposed to learn maybe something that will actually make you a technical level iende juu, na it actually makes you to become more curious in learning new stuffs. So it means that you'll actually find out that people that actually do a lot of engineering, they'll actually advised to do physics, right? Because physics, understanding physics, it actually helps you to need to kind of, it gives you that mentality of actually solving problems like every time. So, and that is actually the thing that you actually need like every time. Because, for example, a lot of coders that I actually know actually gave up because walikuwa na hii stuff inawasumbua sana. You have spent the whole night fixing an issue and it was only an issue of like maybe a full stop. You don't put a full stop on something, then you end up maybe like deleting everything, starting again. But you see, like you need that something that actually pushes you to actually continuing to actually solving those problems. So I think doing it maybe in high school, maybe with the current 844 curriculum, I think you can people that are doing maybe physics and maybe sciences that are so much deep into it, but wanafanya maybe mechanical na hizo stuff zingine zote, they actually have a good chance doing something that is technically oriented wakimaliza high school. But I think you just have to love solving problems. So because hata kama mtu akufanya hizo stuff akiwa high school, akikuja nje maybe akona interest yake, okay, it will be hard for them, but at the end, if they love solving problems, it actually start growing.
Wow, thank you very much. So guys, mmesikia vile ametuambia like software development is quite a good business to dive in, especially for the Gen Zs. Not even the older generation, it's a good thing to dive in. But we're going to go for a break, but before we go, this show is probably sponsored by Dunamis Raw Group of Companies. They deal with property management. If you're a landlord and managing your property is becoming a headache, don't worry, Dunamis Raw Group of Companies will sort you out. Also, if you want to move in somewhere, you want to become a tenant somewhere, but unashangaa, where will I move in? Don't worry, Dunamis Raw Group of Companies, they got you. Na kama pia uko na biashara and you're wondering where to put it, they are going to help you out. Their numbers are right here on the screen. Just reach them out na utasaidika. So see you after the break.